Opening prayer and salute to our flag. Mr. Mendez, would you lead us in the word of prayer, sir?
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening with thanksgiving for the ability to gather here. We ask that you lead and guide us and watch over us as we go through tonight's session, Lord. In your Son's precious name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know you guys are going to have to take a lot of motion and second to make it work. I have quite a few announcements and appointments tonight. However, before we get there, Mr. Derrickson's birthday is June 6th.
No way.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's got his age and everything.
Right. Derrickson Day.
Yes, Derrickson Day. Derrickson, nice.
I'll put my flag out. Yeah, okay.
Again. Also on Wednesday, May 27th at 3 p.m. at the Republic Police Department, we're going to have a farewell to Police Chief Steve Imes and a welcome to Police Chief Mike Lawton. And Chief Lawton's here at his first meeting tonight. Come on up, Chief. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and it's an honor to be here tonight and actually to be serving the citizens of the Republic. I look forward to meeting many people and all the challenges ahead of me, and thank you very much for the process, City Administrator, Mayor, and the Council for the opportunity.
Have you informed him what his officers are doing this evening?
Yes, I actually did in the back.
I am aware. I am learning one new thing today, right this moment, about how to catch a cow. That I have not experienced yet. I've caught wild turkeys. I've caught wild turkeys, but not cows. So I will get a report back and let you know how that went. But yeah, we're chasing cows right now.
Chief Lawton's idea was to deputize the cow and let him roam and be a free roamer.
Yeah.
Painting
black and white.
Yep,
Making use of
some big cows. Have you heard the taser story?
No, they didn't take the cow, did they?
No, didn't get that one in the first week yet.
All right, no, well, you may want to ask somebody there. It's been a while. We'll tell you the taser story.
I will ask.
Doesn't work on cows.
Kathy, can we brace up Kathy?
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it.
Chief Lawton, thank you and welcome. On downhill quick. That's all right. Well, we'll get to the serious business too. We do have a mayor's announcements, appointments, and votes. We have 5 individuals we'd like to reappoint to the Capital Improvements Committee. So I'm going to go each one. I'd like to have a motion to reappoint Alan Dixon to the Capital Improvements Committee.
Motion.
I
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. On to the next one, I'd like to have a motion to reappoint Mr. Denny Robbins to the Capital Improvements Committee.
Motion. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the next item, I'd like to have a motion to reappoint Bonnie Williams to the Capital Improvements Committee.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the next item, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Gary Wilson, Vice Chair of the Capital Improvements Committee. Motion?
Second.
A motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. And last one, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Daniel Harder, Chairman of the Capital Improvements Committee.
Motion.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. 8-0. Thank you very much. On the next item, I'd like to open citizen participation. Anyone wishing to speak to anything not on the agenda, please step forward, state your name, sign in, and give us your best 3 minutes. Seeing none, citizen participation closed. On the next item, I'd like to have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. On the financial report, welcome Mr. O'Donnell. Give us an overview, sir.
The only thing we have to discuss tonight, which should be in with your packets, is our sales tax collection worksheet, which shows that for the month of April, we saw a bit of a downturn as opposed to previous months, where we're showing $130,566 for April general revenue sales tax revenues and $16,302 on our 1/8 cent fire sales tax. I have contacted Department of Revenue Sales Tax Unit to try and see if they have any clues as to the downturn, and their crystal ball is no better than mine. So what we're going to do is monitor the sales tax revenues, and we should be getting May's numbers by the end of next week to see if we have maybe just a swing back of the pendulum. Otherwise, we will find out in due time why it went down. It's not the first time, as you can see, and April traditionally, if you look across the board here, has been a lower month. 2014 was different at 173,000. So we're kind of curious, and we'll keep an eye on this. Other than that, that is the extent of my remarks.
All right. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. O'Donnell? Anything at all? Seeing none, need a motion to approve financial report?
Motion?
A motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Mr. Christian, any thanks to staff, sir?
No, sir.
Mr. Derrickson?
No, sir.
Fantastic. Welcome, Mr. Keeling. Future community events, sir. Aquatic Center open
Daily at noon.
today.
Daily
Right
noon.
on. Right on.
Need a
Good.
little sunshine, but all in all, a good opening weekend, though.
Good. Good. Thank you.
This coming Thursday, May 28th, Senior Movie Day at 3 p.m. That movie will be Unbroken. Free popcorn and coffee will be served. May 29th through June the 12th is Todd Academy. We hold that on Fridays. That's for ages 2 to 5. 10:30 a.m. or 12:30 p.m. and pre-registration is required. A week from this coming Friday, June the 5th, is Kids Take the Mic Night at the Amp, and that'll be followed by Toy Story 3. Excited about that first ever karaoke event we've had going to hold out there. We're going to take the first 35 to sign up and hopefully like a solo act or a group act. It could be interesting. We'll never know what we're going to get, but we think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hold 2 of these throughout the summer, the karaoke night, so I think they'll be a big hit. June 8th to the 17th is registration for Cheer Republic. That's for girls in grades 3 through 6. June 17th through July 22nd is Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program. We hold that on Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m., and that is a free event. June the 25th is Senior Movie Day at 3 p.m. That movie is yet to be announced. Friday, June the 26th is our 19th annual Have a Blast celebration. Starts at 6 o'clock and goes all the way till 10:30, and that is held at J.R. Martin Park. June 26th through July 17th is Todd Academy. That's for ages 2 to 5 years old. We have classes at 10:30 and 12:30. And finally, July 17th, a ways ahead, but mark your calendars for Republic Night at the Springfield Cardinals. That's on Friday at 7:10 p.m., and tickets are now on sale.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. Board commissions and committee schedule, Board of Adjustments June 4th, Capital Improvements May 27th, City Council June 8th and June 22nd, Planning and Zoning June 15th. On all business table items, we'd like to have a motion to have the second reading of Bill number 15-12.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, annexing approximately 13 acres owned by CT Construction and Equipment, LLC, located at the southwest corner of the interchange of Interstate 44 and State Highway MM in Greene County, Missouri.
You must have final approval, Bill number 15-12.
Motion.
Welcome, Gail. Please give us an overview, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. As mentioned, this annexation is approximately 13 acres located at the southwest corner of the area for I-44 and State Highway MM. Currently, the property is zoned within the county for commercial use, so it will come into the City of Republic as such, and it also will include a portion of Farm Road 140. As mentioned before, in our last reading or transportation access to the property will flow from State Highway MM onto Farm Road 140. And the potential for development of this particular property is greatly enhanced by this particular annexation. Be happy to address any questions.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion from Ms. Knockel. Mr. Clinkenbeard?
Have we talked to any of the other property owners between them and us to see about annexing contiguous property, or is that something we can't do and they have to approach us?
We're already contiguous.
I thought that one was not going to be contiguous.
It is compact and contiguous.
Okay.
Across the
Now, we
street.
did get, we did get, I'm just aware of one property owner that had contacted us. Other than that, there's not been any opposition that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, we had talked last time about water and sewer, and that they wouldn't, we wouldn't have to go there or something like that until somebody else came in between them and us or something
Well,
like that.
yes, it's not directly compact to the actual location. It is closer down to the Murphy Tractor area, moving back toward the Brookline Business Park. So yes, they would have to extend those services. Correct.
To answer your question, Mr. Clinkenbeard?
I'm a little confused, but it's fine.
Well-
The water and sewer are down by Murphy. The Murphy Tractor. The city limits are across the street. So you're talking about two different things. You're talking about water and sewer location. You're talking about city limits. There's two different things.
Okay, I'm good.
You with me?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to picture the location, and I think I got it.
Yeah, Murphy, if you look on
Yeah.
your map there, the
It's
three
directly
yellow...
across
Yeah, we're directly across.
is where the utilities would be.
Utilities are down Highway MM, but we are actually, our city limit is right across the street.
Okay, all right, that makes
City
sense.
limits,
Yeah, Farm Road
our utilities
144.
don't necessarily go all the way to the city limit.
Okay,
That's
yep, no, gotcha.
good. Okay, Mr. Wilson?
No, I just was showing.
Oh, okay, you got it.
Here's the city, the water utilities,
Okay.
Murphy Tractor. And so from here to here,
Got it.
You good, Mr. Clinkenbeard?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Additional questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Thank you, Mr. Clickenbeard, for that question. Make sure we're all clarified on that. Anything at all, council? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Harrelson? Aye. Councilmember Poole?
Aye.
Councilmember Mendez?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Councilmember Brashear? Councilmember Jones? Councilmember Wilson?
Aye.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard?
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0. Thank you very much. The next item, resolution number 15-R-35, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to enter into a contract with Technology Services, Inc., TSI, for information technology managed services. Would like to have a motion? Motion. Have a motion and a second. Mr. Kiske, give us the overview, sir.
Okay, well, the sequence of events to tonight is January of this year, we went out for an RFQ seeking request for qualifications for managed services for IT support for the city. After we received those, the IT committee had met, reviewed all of the different proposals that had been submitted, determined that the best company for the city would be Technology Solutions Incorporated, which is known as TSI. So on March 23rd, City Council approved the resolution to go ahead and negotiate a contract with them. The contract is what we're coming back for this evening. Did meet with them a number of different times and discussed on the phone with them an agreement, and have reached an agreement with them for IT support services. And precisely what we're going to be getting from TSI is going to be primarily help desk services. They're going to be the ones that are going to be in charge of the ticketing process and the help desk service for all of our internal customers, meaning every employee that works on a computer. Any issues that we have with any of our computer system software will go directly to them, and then they will service them directly, either remotely, for most chances or cases they'll do it remotely. If need be, then they'll have somebody come over here directly to work in-house. That will free up Sean, our IT director, Sean Selena, our IT director, to work more on the network side of things and free up additional time for him to work on police department issues as well. That is the one thing that TSI, they will support all of the computers in the city, but when it comes to the MDTs and more of the specialized equipment for police, that will still be in Sean's area to deal with. So that's the main thing. The other thing that they will do is they're going to be mapping our entire network, and they're going to be able to put together a map of all of our network switches, servers, what have you, so that way in the event that we ever have an emergency where Sean is out of town, sick, if he leaves even, we'd have somebody, a company that would be able to come in and immediately have access into the network and be able to work with us, so we wouldn't have any downtime with the network. Third thing that they're going to do is to make sure that we are compatible, I guess is the best word, to just make sure that they have that emergency access to the system and the network. They are going to be monitoring and accessing the system at least once a month. So they're going to monitor our system and make sure that they have all of the access codes, make sure everything works right, make sure that everything is up to date, and then monitor the system as well to make sure everything is running correctly. The cost of this is obviously a negotiated cost. It's very similar to the arrangements that they have with the other cities that they do business with, namely Nixa and Ozark. The total cost of this, and I'm sorry, the contract did not make its way into the packet, so I apologize for that. They're not here in the packet, but anyways, we do have an agreement. The cost on a monthly basis is $3,505 is the cost to provide that service. On a yearly basis, it's $42,060. It'll start in July 1st of this year, so we'll roughly have about a $21,000 expense for the remaining part of 2015. We did budget $20,000 for the service for this coming year, so we are within, or very close to being within budget for the expense. The other option, if anybody did want to know, the other consideration, of course, was do we want to go out and hire another person to work full-time along with Sean to be able to provide these services. The general consensus was we're going to get much better value out of having a firm come in and do managed services versus another individual. We'll have a lot more expertise with the number of people that TSI has and be able to tap into their resources more so than if we would just hire an additional person. But there's definitely pros and cons to that.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk-Revere and Mr. Mendez, you were on the IT committee. Any additional comments would you two like to make at all?
I'd say the main one is probably people wonder about the secondary person, which is something that I've been trying to get for a couple, 3 years, or almost ever since I've been on the council. And by the time you take an entry-level salary of, say, $35,000 to $45,000, add in their Social Security, matches, loggers, medical benefits, all that kind of stuff, you're well above this price point. You also get an employee that's lower on the totem pole, and in an IT world, that's someone who comes and goes, moves on to a bigger job where they can make more money, usually within a year or two. So it would be constantly going in and out the door and retraining that person over and over again. You also get someone who has one set of skill sets that they might be good at. When you get a managed service company like TSI, you get a skill set of a dozen or so people, and all of them specialize in different areas. So if he has a problem with a Microsoft or Cisco, Dell computers, or whatever it might be, someone on their team is going to be very good at that particular area. So, and then if you have a major problem, something really goes down, you got a team of people that can come and help you, and that might cost a little bit more, but there's people that are familiar with your network that can come right in and take over. And it's for a reason that I leaned towards the managed services at this point, and I'll let Jason fill in any other gaps.
Well, the only other thing that I would add to that is one of the largest concerns is the support for the city employees and their ability to do their daily jobs, manage their work, and be able to get the support they need. And Sean does a great job, but he's single-threaded, right? And we need to be able to scale over the course of time. Not to mention, going back to the hiring one person, we don't really know exactly what it is we need when it comes to the number of employees to support the city as it currently is and as it grows. The idea is to create opportunity, create bandwidth, and get that immediate ramp up. And this actually gives us an opportunity to do this long-term, short-term, and kind of see the value that's added. But most importantly, address some of those larger concerns that we had. So the managed services, as to Jeff's point and to Jim's point, you're buying people with experience across all gamut. So I definitely think it's a good option, and then you can also bring it back up for negotiation down the road. And if you decide to hire another employee, you have time to ramp that person up. You don't just dump on them, right? So there's a lot of benefits to this, and I think this will help create or improve morale across the employee base and just kind of help figure out how to get things put into a better spot in that regard. So,
Thank you. Thank you all. Council, questions, comments, discussion?
I had a couple questions. Were you able to speak to the city of Nixa, and were we able to negotiate the price point to that effect?
Yeah, they, and I am terribly sorry, I don't know why we didn't get this in the packet here for everybody, but anyways, the way that TSI, and the way every company, the way I understand it works, is they break down their services by a per-device charge. So if you want help desk services, that's a desktop charge of X number of dollars times the number of desktop units you have in your city. If you want them to monitor your servers and take care of those, it's another price and what have you. What TSI has done in Nixa is provide to them a rate, which is exactly the same as ours, and they applied a 25% discount to their overall charges. They got a larger discount than what is normally given to municipalities due to the fact that they are doing everything for the city of Nixa. They're not just doing help desk, they are their IT department. So they do everything from budgeting to their help desk to their servers and all of their network devices. So they got a little bit larger of a discount. With the City of Republic, they certainly will offer that discount if we go to them lock, stock, and barrel and do all of our services through them, but because we're only doing a portion of our services, they limited their discount to a 10% discount, but what I was able to negotiate with them was a lower number of desktop units, figuring in that we don't have all of our desktop units are not full-time desktop units, so I was able to negotiate a lower number of desktop units to get that price down more reasonable. And when I compared the two, if they had charged us for all of the desktop units we had at their charge with the discounts, bear with me 1 second, that was only, it came to less than $100 difference per month. So really, they worked with us and gave us a lower number of units and gave us a lower discount, of course, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be within $100 of what would have been the Nixa route, so.
Okay, thank you. Second question, just to make sure we're clear, this does not include a technology refresh or any kind of hardware replacements, correct? This is simply support for what we currently have.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so, council, that may be an issue as we go through or move forward, because we have some older units that have Windows XP and some things that you might see some, due to no longer supporting that, you might see some expenses there. I just want to make sure that we don't confuse.
We're good on the XP issue
Are we?
now. Yes, everything's up to date on the XP issue. The one thing that we will be tackling between now and the end of the year is we need to really get our licenses updated to a newer version for our servers.
Yeah.
And you guys can actually speak to this better than I can, but I believe we're working off of the 2008 server license now, back from the days Toby's were here. Needless to say, those need to be updated, and in order to do that, there's going to be a fair amount of cost involved to get those upgraded and get all of our licenses and user licenses in place. We're going to work with TSI to get that in place, and that'll more than likely be a budgeted item for 2016.
There's kind of three pieces to the pie. There's service, which we're discussing here tonight. There's software and licenses to utilize that software, and then there's hardware. And the software and hardware are still things that he has in this budget year and will have every year, because they're constantly having to do that. But this is taking care of the service and getting Mr. Salinas some help.
Mr. Hardy, you had a question, sir?
Yes, our current infrastructure provides 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service, is that correct? Our current, yes, our current.
Our
with
current
Sean.
hosted network.
24/7,
Yeah.
and we'll have that same with TSI?
Right, they provide a, regular workday schedule, and that's included in the agreement. They also provide the 24/7 service, but of course, if you get into some of the after-hour services, depending on what it could be, there may be an additional charge depending on what if they need to have somebody come out here, then of course that's not included in this, they would charge additional for that.
I just need
But
to
yes,
be
it
sure.
would be 24/7.
And to his point, I saw those pieces, we reviewed those, they have escalation criteria, just
Okay.
like any support
Sure.
desk would. So depending on the severity, it gauges their response time as well.
As long as we've got service provided for fire and police, they're here 24/7.
And I did negotiate also in here that they like to adjust this monthly. Every time there's a new device added to this, they wanted to change this monthly. I put in there that we wouldn't make any changes until we mutually agreed upon a new device count after a 6-month time period. Because in the summer months, we have the aquatic center up, we've got a number of units, devices there, they're going to be activated. So our units will go up, substantially over the summer months. So I wanted to make sure that we had an average period of time for 6 months. So we collected the summer and the fall and winter, so we made sure we were...
Collect some data first.
Yeah, before we just allow that to fluctuate month to month, and I wanted to make sure we stayed within budget.
Good job.
Additional questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? All right, thank you for the discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Thank you very much. On the next item, Resolution 15-R-36, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the execution of a professional engineering consulting services agreement with Olson and Associates. Would like to have a motion.
Motion?
A motion and a second. Welcome, Mr. Brock. Give us the overview, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. The city maintains contracted professional engineering services primarily for development reviews of public and private infrastructure, but also for day-to-day operational consulting for public works, admin, and planning. Our current contract with Olson Associates expires in June of this year, and back in February, we initiated a solicitation and selection process. We had 8 firms that responded. Those were whittled down to 2 by a selection committee comprised solely of staff. Those 2 firms were Olson Associates and HDR Engineering. Those groups made a presentation and reviewed by our final selection committee comprised of council members Harder and Wilson, Mr. Krischke, Ms. Donald, and myself. And the consensus of that group was to bring forward Olson Associates for the next 3-year term. The rates that Olson has proposed, very reasonable, less than a 3% increase on average amongst the 18 positions that we would typically use when compared to our last contract. The format of this contract does have an annual escalation for the 2nd and 3rd years, and Olson is repeating the 3% annual increase those final 2 years. That was a feature that we added in 2011. It really eliminates a substantial jump at the end of these 3-year terms. The members of the selection committee are here tonight. Mr. Forster is here tonight representing Olson Associates if you would have any questions.
Questions, comments, discussed from Mr. Brock or Mr. Forster since he's in the audience. Anything at all, council? Fair enough. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brock.
Thank you, Mayor.
On the next item, Resolution number 15-R-37, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, awarding the bid for self-contained breathing apparatus and face mask. Welcome, Chief Counsel. Need a motion on that?
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Welcome, Chief Counsel. Please give us an overview.
Evening. Late last year, the City of Springfield was awarded a grant along with the Logan Rogersville Fire Protection District to replace their air masks, or SCBAs. And they went to bid and they asked if anybody else in the area was interested. And naturally, we're always trying to find the best price possible. And so between City of Springfield, Logan Rogersville, Nixa, and us, we were able to purchase approximately 150 units off of this bid, which drove the price down substantially. In 2014, this has been, as you know, this has been an ongoing replacement that we've had for several years, trying to get these replaced before the end of service life comes up here fairly quick. 2014, we didn't buy any air packs because we were so late in the year. Jim asked that we hold off this year until John gets his feet under him, and I'm running out of time. The bid expires in June, so.
Does he have his feet under him?
I hope. He hadn't run off yet, so. Anyway, what we're looking to buy is 11 self-contained breathing apparatus. They'll come with a face mask, a quick disconnect regulator, and spare bottle. The price is $5,991.47 each. And in addition to that, we need to replace, or would like to replace, 15 masks. And 11 of those masks are existing service now. They have upgraded the technology in the mask. It's a better protection for the firefighter's face. This is a weakest point in the breathing apparatus. And then there are some additional masks there because not everybody on the fire department has the same size head, so a medium-sized mask doesn't fit necessarily every person out there. Total purchase is $68,704.84. We're looking at a 60 to 90-day delivery time frame-wise from the date we place the order.
Thank you, Chief. Questions, comments, discussed for Chief Compton? Yes, sir. One more thing.
Yeah, because it's on the back page, I forgot. In addition to buying these, we're going to ask that with this a resolution that we declare 14 air packs that are in service now as surplus property and dispose of them per the purchasing policy. So, now, if we'd had it in small print on one page, I'd got it. Sorry.
It's okay. See how you are. Questions, comments, discussed for Chief Compton? Mr. Harder?
Do you see a value in the old mask mill unit?
My predecessor purchased a brand by the name of Draeger, and the Draeger Corporation is a German-based company. They're very good, but they are about to pull out of the U.S. market for air packs because they can't meet the certification standards in the United States. And even though when they bought these in 2002, 2003, they met the requirements in the United States, the new ones they have don't. And they've quit manufacturing parts, so some of these we've cannibalized parts off of to keep the other ones in service. We've called around, and there's not a whole lot here. We may be at $250 a pack, and that's it. I guess we've talked about keeping them, and quite honestly, when they go out of date, all they are is surplus city property taking up space in the storage building, so there's really no value for us to keep them. At this point, we feel we'd be better off just to surplus them out and go on.
Okay, thank you.
And the brand we're buying is a Scott brand, which is owned by Tyco Corporation, which has been in business for years.
Additional questions, comments, discussed for Chief Compton? Anything at all?
What's the normal service span for these masks coming up there?
The actual pack itself is going to have about right at a 15-year time frame on it. The mask, they've changed these, and that is the weakest point in this whole thing. That clear lens that we look through starts to melt out at about 380 degrees. And they've changed the mask, the newer ones out, they've got a higher temperature up in the 500 degree range in which they will start to come apart and melt out. in addition to changing the lens that we're looking through, they've also changed how the air flows through the mask, and it's a little easier for the firefighter to get air in as well as expel that air out, because it's, you're sealed up in this thing. When they put that on, they'll put their hand over the end of it and see if the mask sucks to their face. And if it does, it's properly sealed. If it doesn't, they've got a leak. So they've changed the design. The other part of this is the old mask will not work on the new packs, but the new mask will work on the old packs. So we're at a fire right now, so when we go to clean these, I'm either going to have them labeled which backpack they go with, because I can't get them mixed up. Where as it is now, they're all the same vintage. It doesn't matter which one they go with. It's not a deal to keep them straight.
Additional questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton? Mr. Harder?
Now, I'm sorry, is that the whole air pack, the bottle, the harness, the mask, and regulators and all that?
Yep, it's first cylinder too.
Kind of makes me nervous knowing that they have different masks and you can't use certain masks. That kind of makes me nervous. I mean, I know you guys do your due diligence, but
that's why we wanted to switch to the new mask, because my biggest fear was they would get an old mask with a new pack. And, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you're cleaning stuff up, trying to get your truck back together, and then you got to write a report, and you're not paying attention, and you get crossed, and then we have a failure.
Right.
So the simplest way to do it, and I realize it's $2,700 and some change there, is just to change them all out where the new masks are compatible with the old pack, and I don't have to worry about that.
That's a small price for a big mistake.
Very small price.
I agree. Additional questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Thank you, Chief Compton. Like to have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Jason, you might want a copy of that, or want me to email